So recently, I've been trying to be conscious of my thoughts, and I'm trying to be aware of what I'm thinking about throughout the day. And what I've noticed is how often I think negative. My mind has a tendency just to focus on the negative, which is interesting because I was just reading an article on, I think it was Psychology Today, but I was reading an article which basically says the same thing. The human mind tends to focus on the negative. And I think this is true. I think this is true. Um, and because, like I say, I've been aware of, I'm trying to be aware of what I'm thinking throughout the day. Because usually, you go through your day, but it's like you're on autopilot. You go through life through on autopilot, and you're not really aware of you're not really aware of what you're focused on, and you're not really aware of the patterns, these thinking habits that you get into. And I think like most people, I get into a habit of thinking negatively and focusing on the negative. And I don't know why the human mind does this. I don't know why our minds do this. I think it's because it's like a survival mechanism. Because if you focus on potential dangers or things that could go wrong, you can plan. It can help you plan for those dangers, and it's probably one of those like survival mechanisms that help human beings survive. You know, because imagine if you're a caveman, right, and you're living on the savannah, the African savannah, and you just think happy thoughts all the time. Well, you're probably not going to survive. Because if you're not worried about the potential saber-toothed tiger that could come and eat you, then you might not survive. But the guy who's worried about the saber-toothed tiger, well, he can plan. Well, what if I'm going to go on this journey tomorrow, but what if I get attacked by a predator? Well, I'll take a weapon with me. He can prepare. I don't know. That's just my theory, anyway. But recently I've got this neighbour. I've got a guy who's just moved in next door, and he is driving me up the wall. And not just me, but all my neighbours as well. Because what this guy's been doing, is playing music all day and all night. I swear, he plays music all the time. What he'll do is he'll put his music on for an hour, and then he'll turn it off, and you think, oh, thank God he's turned it off. And then he'll turn it on again for another 2 hours, and then he'll turn it off. And then a couple of hours later, he'll put it on again. And he does that all day. He's been doing that all day. And sometimes he does it well into the night. And I'm thinking to myself, does this guy not sleep? Does he not go to work? So, and he tends to have parties. He'll have a load of his friends come round. Which is interesting because he's not a young man. I can imagine a teenager acting like this. Someone who's just left home and, they've finally got all this freedom, and, they're having house parties. I can imagine somebody who's young doing that. But this guy looks about 40 and he's still behaving like this, which is weird. But the most annoying thing about this guy is he'll play the same songs on repeat. There's 5 songs that he plays on repeat. And he just keeps playing the same songs over and over and over and over again. And there's this one song that he plays that has just got stuck in my head. And I can't stop thinking about this song. Because the music that he plays, it's like a combination of... It's like a combination of techno and Polish folk music. So there's this one song that he plays that is just stuck in my head. And, I'm going about my day and I'm humming the tune to this song. And I was in the shopping centre a while earlier today, and I was just singing this song. Asida bala, asida bala, astada sida bala, da 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 da, astada sida bala. And I Yeah, I'm just like, and this guy's looking at me weird. What's this guy doing? But I cannot get this song out of my head, and this is what I'm talking about. It's always the annoying song that gets stuck in your mind, and you can't stop thinking about. So, so yeah, that's just something I've been thinking about. Why do we focus on the negative as human beings? And how do you stop doing it? Because it's like a habit, and it's really, really hard to break a habit. Because human beings are creatures of habit. So I'm thinking, how do I break this habit of just focusing on the negative? And it's like you do it automatically without thinking, you know. And it's not until you try to become aware of what you're thinking that you realize you're doing it. But like I say, it's so habitual you don't realize you're doing it. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking about recently. How do you get out of this habit of thinking negative? Because I think it's innate. I think it's partly innate.